We've got a special little treat today. We've got the new 2025 Nissan Armada Pro-4X. This is like the global patrol that we never got to have here in the States, but we have it here now. We're gonna take it up the ironclads and see how it does. It's pretty exciting that we're getting the Armada in the Pro-4X version, because before this in the States, it's always just been big, bubbly family haulers, but now we've got one that actually can serve a little bit more of a utility purpose and can go off-road. And with things like air suspension and a locking rear diff, this is actually a pretty decent off-roader. And not to mention, with the suspension, it's a very comfortable ride. So right now we are approaching the steps in order to get up to Razor Rocks. I'm a little worried about our side steps on the side of the Armada because I think it is going to pose as a little bit of an issue. I've got it in rock crawl mode, and I've got, see, that didn't sound so great, but it is crawling up. I don't have the rear diff locked yet, but I'm just worried about ground clearance and those side steps. Yeah, that's gonna not make it all that easy. But if you remove those side steps, that would definitely help. Maybe get some rock sliders, that would be even better. But I'm happy to see that we at least have 20s on this. I would prefer 18s. But the all-terrain tires are definitely helping. All right, I think it went up steps relatively easy, but Razor Rocks is next.
Hanging the tire already?
Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna engage the locking diff.
Yeah, I'd say locker on
Yep.
is probably already going to be necessary. We'll see if it can get up the Razor Rocks, because this is a big machine.
Yeah, I mean, she's a big gal. This is an 8-passenger,
Yeah.
3-row.
And heavy.
She's heavy. This isn't nimble. All right, we are starting our ascent. I want to try to hug this root of the tree as much as possible.
So go slow.
Far left as I can go. I'm going to start aiming it towards you now.
Right?
Yep. Nice and gentle.
Nice and looking good.
Okay. Nice and gentle.
Nice.
That does not feel great.
No,
Continue forward.
Yeah, continue forward. At this point, it should start to get a little bit easier.
Nice and gentle with the throttle.
Nice. Now cruise slow over the rocks here, because I think, yeah, we're
Woo!
using all of the clearance that it's got. Go a little right.
Isn't much. That was dramatic.
I think that's kind of right at the limit of what this Armada wants to do, because it's a big machine.
Certainly better than the old big bubbly family haulers in the previous gen, but I think we did maybe find at least the top point of its limitations. Under the hood, it is not the V8 that used to be in the Armada, but now we have a twin turbo V6, a 3.5, made it up to a 9-speed automatic, producing 425 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. So no, it may not be the V8, but more power, more torque. On the Pro-4X model, you get 20-inch tires with these Yokohama Geolandar AT Geo 15s. You can get a smaller 18-inch wheel option available, which if you are planning on off-roading a lot, that may be the better option for you. I am a little apprehensive about how this side step is going to be. It kind of jutes out quite a bit. That may run into some issues as we're going over some higher terrain. First thing you'll notice, it has lava red tow hooks, and then we've got a front skid plate here, just plastic, but in the back we actually have a metal skid plate, which is really nice to see in an off-road package. Checking out the inside of the Armada Pro-4X, it's got quite a few different drive modes, from standard, eco, sport, tow, rock, sand, mud and rut, and snow. This is also going to be your hill descent control, which is really nice to have. Over here we've got auto 4 high, 4 low, a rear locking diff, ladies and gents. This is where you can turn your traction control off. We've got air suspension. I mean, everything you could really ask for in a giant third row SUV. One of the nice things about Pro-4X is how many different camera angles you get. So this is your aerial 360 view with your backup camera, pretty standard. But then it comes to kind of a side camera angle, which is great for parallel parking or even rock climbing, because you can see how close you're getting. But then this is going to be more of a wide pan front angle, which is really nice to have. This though is fantastic for off-roading because this is actually going to give you a visual of what's going on underneath the vehicle, which is huge to have. And then finally your 360, which you can actually maneuver around, see what's around you. The cameras on here are pretty fantastic and definitely something that's going to be helpful for off-roading. The Pro-4X is one of the top trim lines in the Armada, and with that you get a lot of nice luxuries, including a ton of soft press materials like on the entire dash and the sides here. You get two 14.3-inch displays with Google built-in, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, not to mention heated and ventilated seats, a heated steering wheel. We have Pro Pilot Assist. It is very luxurious in here, but that does come for a price of a little over $82,000. We've got a couple large rocks that we are approaching, but luckily I can see them in my screen what I'm approaching. I wish I could see how tall they are because, you know, in the screen everything looks a little flat, right? But it is helpful that the screen does give you an idea of where maybe some really tall, sharp rocks are, so you could try to either straddle them or get around them, because that's, you know, one of the big things in off-roading is, do you straddle or do you go around? But I am surprised with how well it went over razor rocks. It may have not been pretty. I don't think this vehicle was designed to articulate that much, but we're approaching truth or dare, and I think if it made it over razor rocks, we should go up dare. So we got a pretty large rock coming up to my driver's side tire. I'm gonna go right over it. Let's see, there she is. Nice and smooth, easy throttle. She's crawling up easy. All right, so now we are approaching the dare side, which doesn't look too extreme, especially on camera. Everything looks flat, you know, like your Civic could probably do it, right? But these are pretty rocky little trails. But now I see where the big dip is for the dare section, and this is I'm a little worried at the ground clearance, especially those side steps with this. This may be, you know, nice with its locking rear diff and its air suspension, but the ground clearance is certainly not on our side. But so far, nailing it. All right, Armada, I see you. Beautiful. Well, Case, it kind of walked up the dare side.
Yeah, not too bad.
No.
Just a tiny bit of slip on that one rock when you picked up that right front tire,
Yep.
but that's to be expected. Again,
right.
For a vehicle of this size and weight, I think you'd have a hard time being disappointed in it when you can take your family of 8 up a trail like this.
Yeah, for real. And the thing I was most worried about was that huge dip right at the end of the trail, and this still had no problem. I really thought we were going to scrape, but it cleared it.
Yeah, so all in all, pretty impressive performance from the Pro-4X. I think it earns the Pro-4X name.
Yeah, finally. It's about time. All right, folks, so there you have it. We took the Armada Pro-4X up the ironclads, made it up the steps, made it up razor rocks a little dramatically, and we made it up the dare side. I mean, other than a few touches here and there on the sides and on the back, I think this Pro-4X did pretty well and graduates from the old mall crawlers to an actual rock crawler. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Check out alltfl.com for even more videos. This is Jen behind the camera. Case. We will see you next time.